Let's see, make sure it's straight. I gotta make sure I'm straight. How you guys doing today? Or how you guys doing tonight? Like I told you yesterday, I was going to do these things on Tuesdays called Testimonial Tuesdays, where I give you stories on how I grew closer to the Lord. And people that know me, they know that I did an internship for Walt Disney World. I did it back in 2002. If you see me swat, I got a fly in here that I got killed. It came in when I came in, so I'm not too particular for flies, But yeah, I wanted to give you guys a little bit of insight on me and what I'm about, and how did I come to studying and researching for the truth. I wasn't always on fire, as you could say, for God. And I wasn't no heathen totally, but I wasn't like this extreme. The reason I got this extreme because one, the world needs it right now. Two, we're in a dying world and people just keep on dying left and right. If it's not by, police, it's by bloodshed in the streets, it's by our own people, it's by the police, it's by other nations. So that's why I said, this word will give us instruction. But anyway, not getting too much off topic, I did promise y'all, this fly hovering, I can't believe it. I did promise y'all a testimony. So back in 2002, I did an internship for Walt Disney World. Back in the day, it was called WDW College Program, or the Walt Disney World College Program. So it was me, and it was like thousands and thousands of college kids going down there. I was just coming from a year and a half from Lock Haven University, and I decided that, I just wanted to do an internship. The way I found out about the internship is my boy Keith, and he's looking at me now. Me and him was working in Lock Haven. We was like custodians. I did everything, man. If it was a job at Lock Haven, I was working in the library. I was cleaning the classrooms, man. I was helping out in the kitchen. Yeah, times was hard. I had like 6-7 jobs at Lock Haven when I was up there. So anyway, I was cleaning. Me and Keith, we was like 7 a.m. We up there washing boards and stuff like that. And I'm cleaning and I see this flyer in the trash. And it was for, the Walt Disney World College internship program. So I'm not no trash digger, but I did get that flyer out the trash. And I was like, there was like interviews on Tuesday. I remember that. So I was like, shoot, all right, cool. Like I need an internship anyway. I was going into my second year of school. So I went and, I applied for the internship. And at the time, I had braids in my hair. Yeah, I did a lot of crazy stuff with my hair. So I had braids in my hair. So I had like the Iverson swirls and stuff like that. So I didn't even think they was going to hire me because I'm like, man, I don't even look presentable for this thing. And I had a little goatee. I didn't have a beard like I do now, but I had a little goatee, something going on. So what had happened was after I got the flyer, I decided to go to the interview. When I went to the interview, and it was like a 2-day interview. First interview, they put you in this room. They show you about Disney, the history of Disney, and things like that. And, telling you more about the park. And I'm like, oh, we get to live in Florida? I was like, bet. I'm going to this internship. So the first interview was basically an introduction. So they was going to let us know who was going to be selected, and they was going to give us a call for the next interview. Now, mind you, I'm old head. 2002, we all didn't have cell phones. We all just had the phones, the landline phones. So my roommate let me know that Disney called me, and I went to the second interview, and they was asking if I like children and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I like children. I had a little sister at the time. At the time, she was like, 13, 14. So, I love little children. So I was like, ain't no reason not to go down there. And I don't want no pedophile stuff, but, I was like, yeah. And they was like, would you, mind, cleaning up your image and stuff like that? I was like, sure. So after that semester, which was a hard one for me, that's another testimony of itself. I went back home. It was the end of 2001, December. So, I packed up, went back home, and I was accepted to the internship. Now, my mom was like, "What, you quitting school to work for Disney?" I was like, "No, this is an internship, and after the internship, I'm gonna go back." But I never went back to Lock Haven. I'll continue at Temple. Like I said, that's another testimony for another day. So, January 2002 came by, and I remember the date. It was January 16, 2002. After 2001, they had the World Trade Center that happened. So after that, I wasn't going to fly. Nobody wasn't flying. The train was packed. So I took an Amtrak down there. So from Philadelphia to Orlando, Florida. So I took an Amtrak down there. So when I went down there, I met this guy named Derek, and it's funny because he my Facebook friend too. Off the rip, he told me he was a redneck. And I thought it was the funniest thing ever because I'm like, man, I ain't never meet no real redneck before. And the first thing he wanted, like, I think that's when I got a cell phone going down there. I didn't have one in college, but I got one going down there. So the first thing he was telling me to give him my cell phone so he could play games. And I'm like, no. Well, we started talking, and then I met another sister and brother. They got accepted to the program. So it was a lot of people on that train going down to that program. So it took us I want to say a day, 24 hours to get down there. So we get down to Orlando. I guess we caught a cab to, the Disney apartments that we was going to be staying in. And we was staying in this place called Chatham Square. So we went down there. We did the Disney orientation. I feel like, it was just amazing how many people was down there, especially as a guy. It was women from all over the world, bro. I'm talking about London, Paris, Jamaica, Trinidad, the West Coast. You got the Midwest. You had people from Detroit. It was a lot of people coming down there just to work for Disney. And I was like, wow, this is crazy. It's like if you take Real Housewives of Atlanta, The Real World, Road Rules, and College Hill and combine them into one. That was my experience. The only thing about it, I wish I had a camera down there because there was some crazy things that's happening. But anyway, I'm not going to go into those stories because I could. I'm gonna stick to how I got closer to God down there. But back to going down to Disney. So we went down there. I met my roommate, and, we got along a tiny bit. Nah, I'm not going to even lie. We didn't get along at all. And that's another story. So I met my roommate. Then, I met this guy named John Dix, basically. And we was from Philly, too. So we started hanging out together. So I'm just now, mind you, I'm coming from college. So... And I just pledged my business fraternity. I ain't even get into Kappa Alpha Psi yet. So I'm just on this, on my young tip. It's I was hollering at every woman I could see. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I was talking to an African woman down there, 2 women from Detroit. It was crazy. I was just down there. You know what I mean? And I'm just, not trying to be too explicit, but that joint was off the hook. So basically, I'm down there. I'm having a time of my life, man, and getting invited to parties, man, and just we would go out to this club every Thursday night, Club BT, where they had the twins down there. It was these twin girls was down there, and we would always dance, have a good time. I had a little squad down there. I went to BT Spring Bling while they was down there. The first one when Cash Money was performing in Daytona Beach, Florida. I had a great time down there. But let me tell you how God set me up, right? Excuse me, I'm trying to kill this fly too. So anyway, I'm having a great time. Like I said, at this point I'm Christian, but I'm hey, look, I'm having too much fun. I was in the world. When I'm talking about I was in it, bro, I was in it. So in this time I was in shape. I was 180 pounds solid. I was running 2 or 3 miles a day. I was playing basketball down there a day. So I was in great shape. So I remember going down there and I was in the gym, and I used to go in the gym by myself because I always wanted to, get the machines and stuff by myself. And Disney worked us a lot. We worked over 40 hours they made sure they got their labor out that internship. So I'm in the gym this one particular day, and I see this beautiful woman. She black and Latino, like, nice frame and stuff like that. Just gorgeous. Short hair, all natural. And she was just slim. I was like, man, my first start, like I said, my carnal mind, I was thinking with my lower nature. I was like, I gotta holler at this chick. So I went up to her. I asked her, hey, what's your name? She was like, yeah, I'm Jennifer. I was like, okay, cool, Jennifer. So back in the day, we didn't have Netflix and chill. But my strong points was, hey, once you come over, I got the PlayStation 2. We could watch a movie. So I kind of did Netflix and chill before Netflix and chill. So she was like, you know what? I got a better idea. Me and my girls, we having Bible study. It's going to be about 8 of us. And I would like you to come and bring some friends. So my eyes lit up. I was like, it's more y'all? I was like, oh, pet. I was like, damn. So I got a number, got an address, and I was going, man. I ain't know God was setting me up, but I was going. I was like, yo, I told my boy John, I was like, and my boy Raymond, I was like, yo, man, I just met this bad John. I was saying John back at the house, just met this bad John in the gym. She having Bible study. Let's grab our Bibles and go. It's going to be on Tuesday night. I was like, y'all got to work. They was like, no, we off that day. I was like, we all off that day, so bet. So Tuesday night come around. So it's like me, my boy John, my boy Raymond. We all fly. We got our little bowl cuts, because that's when I started cutting hair. Like, it wasn't no barber at Disney. So we had to do what we had to do. So we all, happy. We got a haircut. I just cut their hair. I could, I was a little sharp with it, but I wasn't as good as I am now. So when we, cut our hair, we was looking shabby, but, we was presentable. So we all went over there, man, and we sat down. And when I tell you the room was full of gorgeous women, man, it was full of gorgeous women. I was like, dog. I was like in heaven, man. I was giving my boy John a pound and stuff like that. We thought we was in, man. We had Cardinal miles, and I told him from the rip, yo, y'all can have everybody else, but the John Jennifer mine, man. I'm gonna talk to her. So it was 3 of us, and it had to been like 8 or 9 women there, all pretty. Some from Jamaica, some from Queens, some from New York, some from Texas. I mean, they just had it was like one of them rooms, they just had a lot of roommates there. So I was like, oh, word. You know what I mean? I'm going to love this Bible study. So next thing I hear, so it's us 3 guys, the 9 women, we not all shabby looking. So I hear this knock on the door, so I'm like, who's that? I thought everybody was here. So this dude came in, and he know who I'm talking about. Because I always tell this story. We always laugh about it now. So this dude came in. I'm talking about, how can I explain him? No pause moments or nothing. But he looked like a cross between, who? Like, he was built like The Rock, and he looked like Michael Ealy. So that was a dangerous combination for that time. So this dude was built, he was short, and he was on fire for the Lord, knocked on the door, came in smiling. Anybody here for a Bible study? So Jen hugged him. Oh, Brother John, come in. And all the girls was just loving on this dude. Yo, me, John, and Raymond, we was pissed. I'm like, yo, who is the boy? Why would he come here? He just messing all up because they forgot about us. Even though I was in shape, they forgot all about Tim, and everybody was directed to your boy John. His name was Brother John. So I had John, my boy, here, and then it was Brother John. But let me tell you something. When he the one that conducted the Bible study, and I never heard nobody talk passionate about God like this dude. All the women was on him, but all he cared about was serving the Lord, no lie. And it got to the point where when he was speaking, and I forgot what the Bible study was about, it's like the women in the room, they were there, but they kind of disappeared because for the first time I was focused on who God sent and the voice of God. So he was saying these truths that got me intrigued. I was like, yo, I never thought about life this way. I never thought about it like that. So at the end of it, I had to give him props. So I was like, hey, man, I never heard nobody speak about it before. Then I told him, I see all these girls infatuated by you, but all you want to do is serve the Lord. And he was like, yeah, brother Tim, I'm just down here. God got me on assignment on this internship. I'm just here trying to do the Lord. I'm not worried about women. I'm just worried about the Lord. So, you got to know a man by his fruit. So we started to hang out. And I'm talking about a lot of women in this internship was just all over this dude. But all he cared about was serving the Lord. And I was like, no, this guy can't be gay. I'm like, no, it's just like, what is it? Why is he like turning down all these women? And I'm like, this is crazy. So he would take me to church. We would go to churches. Then we would hang with the sisters more. And it just started becoming like a church family. Now, mind you, I ain't gonna lie. I was still in lower nature sins. So I was still doing my thing, hanging with Brother John, still doing my thing, hanging with Brother John. But the more I was hanging with Brother John, the less I was doing lower nature things. So I was like, man, this dude is changing me. So it was a point in time I was like, man, I like hearing the word, but I gotta get away from this dude because he crushing like, my game right now. So he not what's happening. I'm like, look, I'm in Disney. I'm in the happiest place on earth right now. I got all these women around me. I can't just be being with John the Baptist and being his disciple. No, I got stuff to do. So, and this is where I knew God was real right here. When one night I was about to go to Club BT like I do every Thursday. It was a ritual. It was women there waiting for me. It was liquor there waiting for me. I'm not going to lie to you. I was waiting to go there. So one day I was about to go there. My boy got the car. So usually we don't have to take that Disney bus. Yeah, we was struggling back in the day, man. People know who did that Disney World internship. You ain't have a car and nobody ain't know had a car. We busted everywhere we went. So what happened was I was about to go out, had my cologne. I had some cheap stuff back in the day. I went out. I had some orange shorts. I remember. No, I had some like black shorts, some black Iversons and like an orange Tigger shirt. So I thought I was the man. I got this Tigger shirt. This joint was all day. I was in shape. I was ready to go out. And I swear, I did not talk to Brother John none of that day. So he knocked on my door. So I opened the door, and mind you, 20 minutes, my boy about to come get me. So he knocked on the door. I was like, oh, hey, Brother John. Hey, how you doing? He's like, hey, how you doing, Brother Tim? He's like, how you doing? I'm not going to step in, but I had a notion to come over here. The Lord told me to tell you not to go out tonight, and just walked away. I was shocked. I was like, I ain't see this dude in like 3 or 4 days. He just got up from where he was at, walked to my door, knocked on my door, and told me that the Lord said, I don't want you going out tonight. Finally got that fly. Won't be messing this up. So I was mad and I didn't go out. You know why? Because I had respect for God and I had respect for John because he was really walking. So when my boy came, I was like, you know what? I'm sick, man. I'm going to sit it out. So I was like, man, I sat it out and I was mad that night. I was like, what are you coming over here, man? He messing up everything, man. We had the car. We was going to bring some women back to the crib, but he shut by him just knocking on my door. And because he was somebody that I saw living for God, he was the only one able to say that to me. Matter of fact, nobody today is not able to say that to me without, having some conflict. But for some reason, I just met Brother John down there. So it's not like we was boys before this, but how did he know that I could have been in danger? Now, I spoke to somebody about this like a couple of years later, like a woman that was a prophetess. She told me the story that if I had went out, it was going to be somebody that drug or put something in my drink. And I don't know. I don't know if that could have happened. But according to her, she said that was going to happen. And God used John to stop that from happening. So I definitely appreciate that. And, that's my testimony. And then after that day, I was like, God is real. God is real, because, not only that, I could have got stabbed. I could have got shot that night. Like I said, I was thinking with my lower nature. I didn't have my higher level of thinking in God. So I wasn't even on that plane. So I don't know what would have happened to me that night. But had I not met him and had he not knocked on my door, and, I probably would have been a bum down there out of my mind, just roaming the streets. You never know. So I was just, that's my testimony, man. It's Brother John. Right now, we still friends. He's a bodybuilder now. So he's doing bodybuilding competitions and things like that. So, much love to him. So I was just shocked, man, to see what God was doing in my life. And I just wanted to, give y'all a little testimony. I got a lot of these Disney stories, especially pertaining to God. Like the next one I'm going to do next Tuesday, when I talk about that my roommate was a warlord and I used the power of the Bible to get him up out of there. No, and that was real. Like, my boy John Dix and Brother John can contest to that. A lot of people down in Disney was practicing witchcraft. It was a lot of, bisexuality and all that stuff going on down there. It was some powerful stuff going on down there. But because I started getting serious with the Lord, none of that stuff touched me. And there's other testimonies out there that I could contest to. So I definitely thank y'all guys for looking in. I'm glad y'all enjoyed this Testimony Tuesday. I'm going to do these every Tuesday, but just to, give y'all a little glimpse on my life, why I'm doing the things I do and why I'm serious about the Lord. And it's like sometimes God will put somebody in your path to help you. So that's it. Brother John was put here to show me that what I was doing, I was being controlled by my lower self, but I wasn't being controlled by my higher self. I wasn't being controlled by God. I wasn't infused with the Holy Spirit. I was infused with lust. So it was like, and I still got struggles with that, sometimes, but that's why it's like a constant war. It's a fight. You gotta stay within the fight. But like I said, this concludes Testimony Tuesday. If you like it, comment on it. If y'all want to see other testimonies by me, I got a whole lot of Disney testimonies. There was a whole lot of stuff going on down there. But anyway, God bless y'all. Y'all have a good night.